Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha and today I'm creating this glittery look for New Year's Eve. So I'm very excited for 2018 and I have a lot of plans for the channel and also personally for 2018. So looking forward to that, and here's wishing you all a very happy new year. But for now, let's get started with this tutorial. So I'm starting with the moisturized face and I'm going to first apply my face primers. So I'm first going in with the Cover FX mattifying primer and I'm applying this to my oily areas. So mostly on my T-zone, and then spreading whatever's remaining on my fingers, on my cheeks. Then to prevent any creasing on my smile lines, I'm using the Benefit Professional. I'm going to just pat it on those areas. Next, I'm going to color correct with this MAC Orange Corrector. It's their Prep and Prime highlighter and this is the shade Peach Luster. So I'm going to apply this on areas where I have discoloration, so around my mouth, any of my darker acne scarring, and also slightly onto my eye area or under eye area. Then I'm going straight in with my foundation. And I am using one of my older foundations, which is the NARS Sheer Glow, and this is the shade Syracuse. I did add some shade adjusters to match the foundation to my skin tone, so let me know if you're interested in a video on how to alter the shade of your foundation to find the perfect match for your skin. Just leave me a comment below and I can plan on making that video. So I've already done that off camera, and now I'm going to dot it all over my face and then blend it in with a damp beauty blender sponge. So as you can see, this shade now looks almost perfect for my skin tone. If I use Syracuse on its own, it has a tendency to look orange or brownish on my skin. Next, I'm just taking that mini beauty blender sponge and just making sure there are no creases around my mouth area. And then I'm going to set it with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And then moving to the under eye area and blending out the corrector that we have there. And next I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and I'm in the shade Medium. Then I'm going to make this dot pattern under my eyes and just blend it in with the same beauty blender sponge and quickly set it in place with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. As always, I'm going to first prime my eyes with the NARS Eye Primer. And then just applying some translucent powder into the crease area so that the eyeshadows blend easier. Off camera, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows with some brow powder and I'll be right back. And today I'm going to use all Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So this first shade that I'm using is called Beaches and Cream. And I'm using that as my brow bone highlighter. Next, I'm using the shade Chickadee, which is this beautiful golden yellow color. And I'm going to apply this to the crease of my eye. So this shade is going to act as our transition shade. But for now, just apply it to the crease and make sure that the yellow kind of shows up. Don't blend it out too much. Now we're going to work on the halo eye. So for the inner and the outer corner of the halo eye, I'm going in with the foiled eyeshadow in the shade Houdini, which is like this really deep green-blue color. I'm going to apply it in this U shape or a semicircle shape on my eye. So I'm just going back in with that first brush we had used for the yellow shade. I'm going to blend the edges between the blue and the yellow. And at this point, feel free to add some yellow or some blue depending on how much intensity you would like. And just keep buffing the edges till you get a smooth transition. So once you finish blending, you can go ahead and re-intensify the inner and the outer corner with the Houdini shade. By the way, is it Houdini or Houdini? I have no idea. And then going in with a smaller pencil brush, again by Zoeva. And I'm using this beautiful peacock blue shade called Peacock by Makeup Geek. I'm going to apply this to the inner corner, the outer corner, and also to the crease of my eye. And this will further deepen up the Houdini shade that we have already. Then going back in with that first blending brush that we used, and then again taking Chickadee, the yellow shade, to blend out the edges of this eyeshadow. So at this point, I'm just going back and forth between the blue and the yellow shade to, get the intensity of the eyeshadow that I want, but at the same time have a diffused edge in the crease. Then I'm moving on to the lower lash line and applying the Houdini shade to the inner and the outer corners of my eye. And blending out the edges with the yellow eyeshadow we used, Chickadee. And then for the center of the halo, it's going to be this foiled eyeshadow called Charmed, which is like this silver green color. It's very unique and I don't think I have anything similar in my collection. So I'm applying that just on the center of the eyelid. So I'm going to repeat this on the bottom lash line as well. On my waterline, I'm using a black coal. This is the one by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to line my top and bottom waterline. Now to add some sparkle to the center of the eye, I'm using the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow, and I'm using the shade Diamond Dust. So I'm going to apply a small amount with a brush just to the center of the eyelid and kind of diffusing it as we're going towards the green. And then to seal and lock that in place so it doesn't transfer anywhere, I'm going in with the MAC mixing medium on top. So I'm just quickly dusting off any of the eyeshadow that may have fallen under the eyes. For mascara, I'm going to use my favorite at the moment, which is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara. So applying the same to my top and bottom eyelashes. And that's the eyes complete. And then off camera, I'm going to conceal my acne scarring with the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. And I am going to have a detailed tutorial for how I do this coming up next week. Next, I'm setting my entire face with the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. And then for bronzing and contouring my face, I'm again using Makeup Geek product. As a bronzer, I'm using the shade Complicated. And I'm using that on a Wayne Gauze brush number 14. Then to contour, I'm using the shade Infidelity. And I'm using that with the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Contour Brush. Now for contouring my nose, I did switch up to 3 products in the end. So first I'm going in with the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in the shade Medium. That seemed to look a little warm on my skin tone today, I don't know why. So probably because I'm using a different brush. So then I went in with my Viseart Highlight and Sculpt palette and used this lighter shade. But that again didn't show up much on my skin tone. So then I went in with one of my Makeup Geek contour products. And I used the shade Breakup. And that seemed to be a good contour shade for me, at least a light contour. So once that was done, I moved on to highlighting my skin. And I used again the same Viseart palette. And I'm going to use this first highlight shade since I wanted something white based because the eyeshadows are leaning more towards the cool side, especially with that silver glitter. So I used the lightest shade here. Applied that to the top of my cheeks, the top of my eyebrows, the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Now moving on to the lips, I did go in again with a few products till I found a shade that I liked. So first I went in with this Tarte lipstick, and it's the Glamazon lipstick and the shade is Playful. And I didn't like that, so I went in with this MAC lip pencil in the shade Nightingale to kind of ground that shade. So this is like a deeper purple shade. So I blended those two in, and then I went in with the Anastasia lip palette and applied way too much of the shade Lemon, just like a pale peachy pink, and that just made the lipstick look worse. So once I blended everything in, I just blotted and took off most of the lipstick and then went in with the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Color. And this is the shade 610 Addiction. So that seemed to do it for me. So then I went on to applying blush, and this is the shade A Plum by Lancome. So that's the one I applied. It's like a pale, cool toned pink. And that is the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button and also consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Here's wishing you all a very happy new year. See you all in 2018. Bye.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me.